Do you have an exit strategy for Iran if war does break out?
You're not going to need an exit strategy. I don't need exit strategies.
Mr. President, can you tell us about your letter to Chairman Kim?
Just a nice letter back and forth. He wrote me a beautiful letter on birthday. It was my birthday, as you know, last week. He wrote me a beautiful letter. I thought it was very nice, and just two friendly letters. We get along very well.
No mention of another meeting?
Maybe there was, but we, at some point we'll do that. Getting along very well. He's not doing nuclear testing. When I took over, as you know, when I became president, they were testing. Previous to that, they were testing so much. They were doing ballistic tests and nuclear tests, and we didn't have our prisoners back. We had a whole lot of things that were going wrong. Now we have our hostages back, or prisoners back. They came back. We've had, as you know, the remains of the heroes, our great heroes from many years ago. That's coming back, and coming back as they find them and as they find the sites and the graves, they're sending them back. The relationship is a far different relationship than it was during the Obama years, where you were going to end up with a war. You're going to end up with a war in North Korea. That I can tell you. I'll tell that to Tim Scott. Maybe you haven't heard that, Tim. You understand. You were going to end up, I'll tell you what, you're going to end up in a war in North Korea. And if it kept going the way it was going, if you had that group continuing onward. As far as Iran is concerned, the deal was a horrible deal. It was no good. It was no good. It ended in a very short period of time. We're dealing about countries. It ended in a very short period of time. They would have had a clear path to a nuclear weapon. We're not going to allow that to happen. Can't do it. And I'm all for Iran. I have so many people, Iranian friends. I come from New York. I have tremendous numbers of Iranian friends. They're great people. They're from Iran. They're wonderful people. It's too bad this is happening. They're living badly right now. Their country's not doing well economically at all. That can be changed very quickly, very easily. But they have to get rid of the hostility from the leadership. The leadership, I hope they stay. I hope they do a great job. But they should talk to us decently. We're all for them. We want it to be done properly. But the deal that was done by President Obama, $150 billion for nothing. He used the money for terror. They gave the money out to terrorists. If you remember John Kerry, they asked him that question. Do you know the money's going to be used for terror? He said, yes. Essentially, he said, at least some of it's going to be used. I mean, he knew about it. He actually said that some of the money may be used for terror. What kind of a deal is that? Then they gave him $1.8 billion in cash. Cash, plane loads of cash. What kind of a deal is that? And the biggest problem is they had bad testing. You weren't able to see many of the sites. You saw that, Tim.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't go into the most important sites to test, to see. They were probably making this stuff for a long time. But with $150 billion going to them, they were doing very well, and $1.8 billion in cash. And you had no real right of testing. You couldn't test properly. And most importantly, the agreement ends in a very short period of time. So they had a path to nuclear weapons. We cannot allow Iran to have a path to nuclear weapons. And by the way, we have tremendous support. Tremendous support. And people were very happy with what I did the other day by not doing something, okay? But we had tremendous, and we have tremendous support. Nobody wants to see Iran have nuclear weapons.